thank you for everyone for coming. We're gonna have a focus group talking about restaurant Philly specifically. Let's just start off by introducing yourself and what's your favorite food. And I'll start. I'm Joyce. I'm a senior in Wharton studying marketing and finance. My favorite food is tiramisu.
Okay. Hi everybody. I'm also on the team. This class is from market research, and thank you for coming again. And I'm a senior at the college at Communications and Consumer Science College. And my favorite food is bread and butter.
Hi everyone. I'm Chloe. I'm a senior in College of Wharton doing finance and PPE. And I'm focus groups. I'm not part of the team. And I don't have a favorite food, but I really like prosciutto and like sandwiches and everything.
Hi, I'm Irene. I'm also there. I'm in the college studying English sociology. One of my favorite foods is hummus. Not the restaurant, but like the food. Yeah.
Joanne, I'm a senior in Wharton studying finance and OPM, and I really like Thai food, probably like Thai.
I'm Trisha. I'm a senior nursing, and my favorite food is tiramisu.
Oh, nice.
I'm Nithya. I'm a senior in college, and their food is grapes.
Everybody, I'm Tyler. I'm a senior in the college, and I'm double majoring in art and classics, and I would say my favorite food is probably chocolate mousse.
I'm Yuri. I'm junior in engineering college. My favorite food is probably sushi, I guess.
My name's Amit, and I'm here in Wharton, not seeing much. I'm concentrating in finance. And my favorite food is, I like sushi also. Sushi, it's good stuff.
You need to record yourself, you realize that, right?
Yeah. Hey, what's up, guys? David. I'm a senior doing DMD. I like candy. I like candy and ice cream. Anything smells good in my book.
Okay, awesome. So, how do we serve?
We can start by talking about your favorite restaurant in Philly, if you think of any. So just like discuss. It's gonna be a discussion, but it's not nothing is structured.
Yeah.
So
We just want you to talk amongst each other.
We just want to know about your opinion on food and restaurants. Like, what kind of restaurants, what kind of things would make you want to go to restaurants? What deter you from going, and what like encourage you from like being repeat customer at a place? I guess. Kind of just like free flow in general. We just want to know about what you like to eat, do in restaurants. I don't know.
Well, I guess when I about choosing restaurants, I think about like an intimate, like me and another person, or if it's like the big group, I tend to find a BIO. But the thing I tend to find with the BIO restaurant, like the food is not that good. Or like, for example, the Italian restaurants are just not at par. But I like Vic's. I don't know how many people have Vic's, but it's like a sushi.
Awesome.
Yeah, that's also BYO. I can get a huge group there, but like that's the thing, that's the BYO, and it's like amazing.
Yeah, no, I definitely think in Philly there seems to be emphasis on like one of two things. Either people do really cool atmosphere, and Steven Starr's restaurants really try to create like an ambiance, which is really cool. Or then there's like a really big focus on food specifically. So I mean, I don't know. I'm a really big fan of Garces' places, like Sistrito, Amana, Tinto, all those places. I really like his stuff.
I definitely like a group type of social event really affects restaurant choice, not just in terms of whether or not it's a BYO and that sort of thing, but even just like the type of food I might choose, because I think if it's a larger, I tend to go for things that are safer, like Mexican food or Italian food that like most will like, whereas taking risk on something that's less popular.
Yeah, I agree with that. To like take it to like try like a new like Ethiopian food, for example, will have to be pretty close group of friends. You guys can be honest about, I guess, like, if you bring a guest to that, and then they'll probably like, oh, I like it, and then it was like, oh, it tastes weird and stuff. Like, it's really, yeah. And for me, it's pride important. Kind of work like is cheaper. And, a convenient distance, like, I just realized I really go beyond, like, beyond Chinatown. I kind of, like, almost, like, horizontal, like, draw them there, but it's kind of because, like, I guess, like, I like to go for, like, close to school where I can just walk and then she chat with friends along the way would be ideal instead of like taking stuff down for me.
There's a lot of good stuff in like the Midtown area, like by 20th and San Francisco. Like, that's good, fun spot.
I think something is we're all college students, and not all of us probably like something we also try to do is like go to we haven't gone before. I don't know how it factors into other people's decisions, but at least for me that's like try to a restaurant I've been to.
Especially senior. And then I think that Southgate also is like I've gone to more restaurants in South Philly too. I went to this one restaurant called like James. Actually, like, kind of like really like New American, and it's like this Asian in South Philly. And when I was walking around, I found that there, because I used to think of South Philly, I think it's a bit cheap, like the cheap stuff. But then I realized that they also have some like quality restaurants down there.
So how do you guys out these restaurants? Like,
Word of mouth, I think, in a lot of circumstances. Or if like I've tried a restaurant by a certain restaurateur, I'll like explore options from that same person.
Yeah, Living Social does a lot of Philly restaurants too.
Like also Yelp and stuff like that. You're just completely have like no idea, and you have like sort of like if you're anything, Yelp definitely helps.
And wishinu.com is about stuff going on in Philly, which is they tell you about events and things. So.
And I like the new Google feature because I think they try to do local business cover Google. So like if you like say you want it like Japanese food, say, then you can Japanese food, type like street, and then it will like capture that little area and then have a list, and then you have a review. So I don't really do Yelp or anything. I just like, okay, let's see what Google tell me. And then if that not helping you, I was like, yeah. Most of the time it's Google pretty local now. So.
List does really good like features restaurants, and one every day, and say like what's good about it, what you should, like the dishes you should get there.
Just pay attention to any of the stuff in the deep, like besides
Oh,
like
they
the
have
dining.
food
There's
review.
yeah, those food
Yeah.
review things.
I like that. Sometimes they're really
I
good.
read that, yeah. Just because students like us and their opinion.
Yeah.
I think for me, actually also deters me because it's one writer's opinion normally who one person goes in and like we review a restaurant. So I feel like for me it's much more stiff if I read through like the DPSs and it's like more accurate.
Mm.
But they definitely write about like restaurants I've ever heard of before.
How did you guys go out and eat? And just like, buy some sit-down dinner like at a restaurant versus like grab something to go?
Pattaya account? Is that?
Yeah, that's fine.
I'll change it.
Well,
I'll definitely change it. Maybe, I don't know, once a week, maybe once every 2 weeks.
Yeah, maybe once every
If
other
it's like
week.
a
Yeah.
3 times a
fancy
month.
restaurant outing.
Yeah.
Like once or twice a week.
So, like, once maybe 0 a month. Depending on the road. Depending on the road, I live in you don't do truck.
I would say at least once a week for me, actually, maybe even twice a week.
I'm probably like a lot more than maybe like 3 times a week. And I think because you use it also as like a social event. You haven't seen someone in a while, whatever. The easiest thing to do is like get out. So for me, that turns into to just end up eating out. So even if I'm not good at food, it might just be because like other circumstances are.
I think also the number of times that he's gone up as not like been here a long time.
I would agree.
When I was a friend, it was a lot more just like them go and like maybe we were busy or trying to figure out where we were like.
We had a meal plan.
And we had a meal
I had a meal
plan.
plan.
It's like as I've gotten older, I'll find myself going out to eat, and that's like a novelty as it was when we were like freshmen. Everyone got so excited running to each other's rooms.
So how much are you willing to spend restaurants like every time? And do you think the spending has changed throughout your college career?
Like people are definitely spending more, like what you just said, as you get older.
So what's the price range? Right.
Depends what it is. Right? If you're going to Pattaya, then I'm from like if you all go downtown or something.
So, for example, like, a lot of people like once a week kind of thing, would you just, like, maybe, like, give a part of, like,
Your budget for that?
or what's your minimum? You really would not spend more than.
I feel like people spend more than like 25 if they go down and like go to a BYO kind of thing, but most likely you're probably gonna end up spending more depending on where your night goes.
Well, like that.
I feel like that's like
if
the
you're not
cutover.
like a BYO with a large and you're not going like for the food really good, I would say like 20-25. But if you're going to eat like for the food itself, I would typically say like more expensive, like 35.
Yeah.
A lot of times when I get drinks and stuff, because that
Yeah.
gets really expensive really fast. So, yeah.
I think
Yeah,
Jill
I know.
made a good point. She was like about like what you expect, what you pay, and what you end up paying. I find like go to a lot of BYOs and feel like Kenley. So
that's true.
when you go with a group of people and it's cash only, you can your bill and be like, I know I only owe 25 with tax hit, but somehow you're throwing down 40. Like whatever. Just trying to figure out a way to get out of it.
I feel like that happens a lot.
I feel like it happens to those people a lot. So.
I guess it tends to be expensive though, right? Because you cannot drink in freshman year. And if alcohol is more expensive, then when you buy your senior, you pay a lot more because it's distortion.
Yeah.
I would say I would go over 30, so like I've been giving Fogo to Chow for like weeks now.
Go for lunch
like,
to grill.
Yeah, right. So I
Yeah.
know for lunch, but like I can't legitimize spending 35 plus at lunchtime, so that's trying to find an excuse, and I'm like, hey, like to my friend, like your birthday just passed, I should go to lunch. And I'm like forced to go on Saturday, so it's kind of, I don't know. I need to like make a reason to go, like.
Or
just don't know
like,
why.
so you said you usually go out maybe twice a week?
Yeah, but like it's counting places like Pattaya or like which Pattaya like you could spend like 12 to 15.
Yeah, so it's like you skip Pattaya and you can go to Fogo
Yeah.
Chow.
But for some reason the one time it just seems like a bigger, and then I guess it's like an unlimited situation. It just seems weird. Yeah, I don't know.
You need
It's a
to eat
mental
your way
thing.
$30 in.
Yeah. So.
I always make my money back to Chow.
Going off that, like, so what would make you feel like, oh, this place worth me spending $35 versus like, oh, this place probably deserves like $20. I don't feel like. I mean, of course, at Pattaya, for example, I can up to $25, right? Like
drinks and stuff.
Yeah, but like, what were some factors that would affect your decision as to like how much to spend in this restaurant, or like you're willing to spend more in this restaurant?
I think the atmosphere,
Yeah,
like
so
the
you guys food
experience, like
atmosphere.
I've never been to America. Like people love it, and I feel like you pay a lot. I keep trying, but it happens. And I feel like people actually like really have a time there, so they're just like, sure, I'll drop 30 for it if it's like a group activity. Like I'm not so much a foodie, so it's not that affects me, but that may be helpful.
I think food is like huge to me. Like I'm willing to spend like just more money if I think the food is really good.
Yeah, definitely quality for me too. Like my restaurant right now is Amada, and it's like so
Uh-huh.
expensive, but the quality of the food is just so good. And I also love like all the different foods and how everything on the menu is delicious versus just like one thing being really good. You
Have
know?
you Tinto by chance?
No.
It's really good. I love to get you the whole lamb skewers, the onion cream sauce.
Yeah, for like the star, like the star, the ones that I know are probably going to be really good just because like all the other restaurants are really good. Like I'm willing to go a little bit more just because I know it's like a long change.
Has anybody here tried dandelion?
Yeah.
No,
It's so good, right? I just went there last week.
It's American, British, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
It looks like a tavern.
Yeah.
So good. It's
It's
a really good
They're-
snack too.
it's great.
And they're furniture and everything.
They like ushered me in and I was like at
Now,
a fireside, like so
and
quiet.
and like the stairs and the like painting. There you go. Okay.
It's really good. Brief plug for dandelion.
Do they have mushy peas?
What?
Mushy peas?
I don't think so.
It's
Yeah.
like a dish thing.
Maybe they
I
have
haven't
special
seen-
like soda, like special flavored soda other than bread. That was so good. And last time I was there, I had rat pie.
Rabbit.
So good.
Like real rabbit.
I mean, they're vegetarian.
Bunnies.
So normal and still
I was not thinking about a bunny jumping on me, but I was just thinking about the pie when I ate. It was good.
So, what is the decisive factor for you to go back to that restaurant again?
The food, yeah.
People will go to Charles Plaza and pay $25 because of what Charles Plaza offers the food. So,
What offer?
like drunken good times and like free to do what you want to do. Yes. But people like you're getting ripped off, but like
It's like Don Memos.
yeah,
Yeah,
like John
they
Member,
let you
it's
do
just
anything.
food or
Like-
bad food, and so that's like
They'll edit that. Sure.
people keep going back because it's found a
Because of
way.
Charles.
It's found a Charles too, but like it's found a way to make it more than the food, which I think is important. When you get table 25 kids coming in, like it's a huge bill for them.
Right. So when you're saying overall experience, like what are you like including in your overall experience? Is service or just the experience you had with your?
So if you want to take Charles Plaza, I mean, or Don Memo's, both of those trashy college places to go, but it's like there's no other restaurant you can go and like as loud as you want and like do whatever you want to. I'm not saying this is like what I want to do tonight. Okay, I think in general, like they found a way to like come back even though like you all agree like it's like really crappy food, and so I don't know. I feel like you make more fun memories with your friends. And like, let's go back and do it again.
As far as service goes, like even the place is really good food, but like kind of snobby and like the service isn't good, I probably wouldn't go back.
I don't really care. I mean, unless service is abysmal, it doesn't really bother me that much. Just I kind of like to take my time when I'm out and get a few hours for dinner. But so it's not as, I guess not as big as me.
I don't mind like slow service, but I
If they're
mind like
obnoxious,
rude
then it's
or
like-
just
Yeah, one bad
snobby.
experience just deterred me.
Yeah.
What do other people think that service is? Because we feel like we haven't really talked about service at all. Does it matter a lot? Your decision making?
I think it depends on place. Like if you go to a place like Dom Never care about their service. Well, it's bad anyway, but you wouldn't really expect them to have a high level service. But then if you go to a place, then you would expect them to. Because I remember like last week or something, I went to a place called Milligran, and we had that place is good, but the waitress was just like our server was just so bad that it kind of like scarred it. Because we got there and apparently they'd given our ration away even though we were like 5 minutes.
That's unacceptable.
And then it's like, you guys were just late, whatever, we had to give it away, and then we had to lay out in the cold for like, I don't know, 20 minutes or something, which wasn't that bad people to talk to, but at the same time, that's also just very unprofessional. So you already like started the meal with like kind of a negative tone. So that
Are
was
they still
fine.
BYO?
They're still BYO.
I feel like in general for me, this doesn't really impact my decision unless it's really extreme. So it was outstanding, like they give me a lot of like free wine or I don't know, or like really really bad. So like, or in general, I wouldn't remember what the service was like unless like either extreme.
I'd say, and actually in terms there are like two things that kind of bother me. One of them, you have a reservation, you're there on time, you get late. That's kind of annoying. Second thing is, I really, and like I know we're all students, but I really hate it when waiters card you at the table. I find that to be very like settling.
Would you rather if they card you beforehand? Or card you
That would be fine. I just feel like yeah, but I would, I just don't know. I just feel like it's like they're trusting you or something to.
That's kind of a legal thing.
Yeah.
I think it's shut down if you're underage.
I'm fired.
So would it more like a good service with per second purchase or like a bad service with like stop them going?
It's
Bad.
yeah.
The bad is more important.
I remember I have to wait almost like 45 minutes for a bill. I was like, I'm gonna walk out now. I'm not gonna care. Like, if you wanted my money, just serve. And I was like, yeah, that's fine. But then I still go back. It was so good.
I hate you. Where was it?
But that was in California. I was in Mountain View, and the Spanish restaurant was so good. It's the only place there. And I was like, I hate you.
Which restaurant in Mountain View?
It's in the mountain. Papa?
Okay.
I feel like what Joanne was saying is important, like really good service. Even the tiniest little free thing will make you feel like, oh, like this is a really good place. And waitressed at Marathon, I would get people when they were leaving like the small bowl of frozen yogurt, like a free one, and they'd like thank you so much, and they would come and like ask for me and like smallest little things. Like one would up my tip crazy, but then I feel like they just like something free.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember at Koja they do that. They give you like a warm
What?
Yeah, I did. And they give you little warm tea, and it's in the winter, so I feel so good. I was like, oh.
Yeah.
What are people's food trucks? Just out of curiosity. I'm always interested.
I like
Magic
that.
jar.
Yeah, I like Koja.
I love food trucks.
Kim's.
I like
Kim's is
Cute.
good.
Lynn's is good too.
Lynn's is good.
He's
The
rated.
chicken and rice cart came from New York. It's in New
I
York.
haven't tried it yet.
Has
It's
anyone
long.
tried Garces tacos?
Where is it?
I don't know, like Rome. But it crosses through our account once in a while.
There's a food truck in New York. It only makes made grilled cheese sandwiches. And you just line for like 45 minutes. Gorilla.
I tried it.
It's like 40-minute lines, and like it was like $10 for a grilled cheese sandwich.
Don't they put like a mac and cheese?
I'm lactose intolerant.
That doesn't disappoint.
Right?
That's it.
Wait, so would you guys like? I've heard like wait time big deal for either like your like overall experience or like whether you feel you respect it affect your so does it affect your decision making to whether or not I like to go to place? Like for example, like when I was going to Backfin for like restaurant week, I knew that there's so it's an awesome place, and that's why I don't know waiting even though I have a resident mate. But I don't know what does it affect your like your making in terms of choosing.
Some places don't take reservations. That's kind of a pain if you like are really wanting to go, but then you either have to plan it really early and like go at 5 or 6 just so you can just
I
like
actually
unexpected
kind of
wait
like that,
times.
though. Like Continental, for example, you can go and then you like get a little, buzzer thing.
Like the buzzer
It isn't Chili's-esque, but and then you can just like go hang out at the bar for a little while. It's like relax. It's sort of a nice way to start there.
Definitely makes a
Yeah.
difference.
Yeah.
I'd say the longest I've ever waited for like a table is for Sabrina's. I waited 2 hours.
2 hours?
Wow.
Because
That's not good.
No, they told us, well, after the one at the Italian market, they told us, like, really, it would be like an hour 20 minutes. So we're like, okay, we'll watch walk around and get, like do some shopping. So we came back like an hour later and oh yeah, just like 20 more minutes. So we just like kept standing there and sitting there. But I would still go back to Sabrina's because it's by far my favorite place. It's amazing, right?
Sabrina's. What pisses me off about restaurants are when they have like hours listed on their site or something that are totally inaccurate. Because there's one at New Sabrina's at 48th and Palatine.
Yeah.
I was gonna go the other day and it was like open Sundays till 9 p.m. or whatever, and I'd go at 5 p.m. and it was closed because they added was at 4.
What?
You gotta put this on the website. Like Google's like my biggest resource.
Going off tangent, have you been to restaurant?
Wait, before I want to know. Wait, before you go off the tangent, I want to know what's the absolutely unacceptable time frame to waiting. Like, just
Only 2 hours.
Yeah, I would never wait more than 2 hours. If I knew it was an hour wait, I would not wait.
Okay.
Without a reservation.
If I'm really excited on maybe I'll do it.
Without a reservation, I would be able to wait up to an hour if there was something to do like in the area or the restaurant had a good bar or something. I would like stick. It's like a place to hang out and wait. That would be fine. With a reservation, I don't think I'd have to wait at all if you're on time. Not that I would walk out, but I'd be sort of like very happy with them.
Yeah, I can see your face already.
Pouty faces.
Pouty
Yeah,
faces.
pouty faces. So what about other people with reservations?
Well, I think with reservation, I wouldn't want to wait more than like 20 minutes. But without, I think an hour, a little over an hour. In the winter time, it's just like decreasing. For summer, I'm willing to wait longer, but then winter time, I'm like, it's in 5 minutes.
For me, it depends more on who I'm with and then how hungry I am. If I'm super hungry, I get pissed off. I don't even like a 3-night wait.
Okay, you can tangent now.
Off tangent.
Any other activities you want to add?
Just want to make sure.
Now, like,
She called the email. Press focus group.
Carol, go ahead.
Have you guys been to a restaurant?
Yes.
Yeah.
How experience?
Wait, who hasn't? Oh, I know. Oh, you haven't. Okay, so everyone hasn't.
Never.
You haven't been. Okay, good, awesome.
We're gonna single you out.
One freshman year, that's it.
Can I get a interest in how many people have you been? One.
It's been maybe I went this year. I'm sure I've gone previous years. I just kind of don't really remember all of it.
Like below 3 or?
Yeah, probably like 6 or 8. I probably went like once or a restaurant week, maybe like skipped a year.
You saying a restaurant week is like
actually, I
how
think
many a week have you participated, or how many times you've gone to a
How
restaurant?
many times have you? Like
To like or within a restaurant.
Yeah, exactly. Or like lunch, doesn't matter. How many times?
I gotta say, because I go crazy about it.
That's fine.
No,
That's fine. We love
anything.
that. We love that.
Yeah, we
want
a
a range.
It's like 2 restaurant weeks a year.
Yeah.
And then that's like 6 I've gone to. And then each time I go at least 2 or 3 times.
That's good. You
Like
get your
12
money's
times.
worth.
I'd go less just because I'm running out of restaurant. I don't want to go repeat one.
I get very intense. It's still a while.
Okay, so let's do 12 and 4 or 5. 4 or 5.
Yeah, 4 or 5. Okay.
I go once.
Okay, that's good. Yeah. So what was your like your restaurant week?
Yeah, tell us. Inspire us.
Delicious. Our tomata. Hard to
I
get
like
around.
it too.
Yeah.
Wait, is that the first thing I think about your experience with the food?
This is a
Yeah,
restaurant,
Whatever
so
you
yes.
I mean, it would be like the experience, like conversations you have, like the company. Let's think about that too. So I was just like, is that what you guys think about? What is the first comes to mind when you reflect on
I think
it?
who I was with at the time. I took my hall this year to Garces Trading Company.
Is that this good? I've never been.
It was
It's
good.
much more casual than his other.
It's very casual, and the dessert, and I don't even like dessert. I eat 25 donuts.
Breakfast.
Yeah, it's very tasty. I recommend it. But I tend to think who I was with, especially if it was in your group.
Yeah.
You know, that's what I associate with.
And I feel like almost this isn't as a big of a deal to me now because so many people are gonna be there because it's restaurant week and because it's like discounted and luncheon's like smaller. I'm not like I would tolerate service, but it's like I know I'm the kind of sample like they usually have like.
Yeah. That's a really good thought. We'll come back to that. So how about other people associated with like restaurant weeks? What do you guys know?
I think the one time I acted freshman year, I didn't even get the restaurant thing. So they had the pretty big one. I don't think I could eat one night or I didn't want it. So I think I ended up just ordering from the menu actually. And it was like from the 35 or the 25 end.
Yeah, how do you guys like the menus in general? Do you guys feel compelled to do something off in 26 minutes? are you guys satisfied with the choices are? Like,
Well, normally when I go, it's like if I'm been before. So a lot of people tell me that I should restaurant week actually because they're like restaurant week is like a set menu, like level goes it's subpar to what they normally do. So you should technically go like when it's off restaurant week time. But like my thinking behind it is a good restaurant, it should be good regardless of when you go. So I don't feel.
Well, I mean, yeah, it's a perfect opportunity for them because they can like bring their crowds. They really should hopefully be doing a good job.
Do better so that you would go back your residents.
And for me, it was kind of like an excuse for myself. Like I get a lot of people do that too. That if you go not restaurant week, it's probably better service, better food, and you probably wouldn't spend up to $30 anyway. But it's like just use like if I'm gonna go to a nice restaurant, like I'll use restaurant week as an excuse to be like, oh, it's probably a good deal. But like in my head, like I know that I probably wouldn't have much money otherwise.
right.
It's a good deal for a really expensive place.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
Fogo is just a good idea because you don't usually.
Like Amada, I mean, it's not very good.
Yeah, and that's like another thing with restaurant week. Like I go out and go to the pricier ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You never go to like the high end.
Yeah, definitely drink it by the dollar thing first.
So do you guys have like different expectation from during restaurant week and like just regular? Like you said something like, oh, you know, this restaurant week gonna be like really busy, and you don't really expect great over service. Does that thought run through your mind or at restaurant?
Expect a little bit more lag time as far as service. That's fine. I mean, I think that's just kind of.
It's just like more crowded, even for intimate restaurants. Like it's probably too crowded.
Okay. You want to ask some questions?
Okay. Have any of you guys been back to a restaurant after you've gone there during restaurant week?
Anyway, I went.
Although I've been back to Amada since restaurant. It wasn't my first time there for restaurant week, so I don't know.
That's a good question. I have not.
I don't think I have either. I mean, I think after it wasn't because of the restaurant.
Okay.
It just so happened that I like place Mata or whatever, where I'd gone before because I knew it was a good place, and then like the step occasion someone else wanted to go or someone else arose.
So it seems like for restaurant week, you make sure you go out your way to do something new, right? You don't nobody's been to the same restaurant twice during restaurant week, have they?
Okay, so why don't you tell Renata a few questions? Would you spread a bad word of mouth because of a bad restaurant week experience, or do you guys send them slack just because it's restaurant?
Like that's the easiest way, but you come home and like are you with your like wow that place sucked and then
But
like
you give them the benefit of the doubt, saying maybe it's restaurant week, or you guys
I don't
know
think
about
about it
it.
ever be like okay like
If the food's bad, then that's just like general info. If the service is bad, I guess you could like understand because friendly. But I think quality of food is definitely like it's a reservation. Kind of focusing on their food.
Okay.
When you say spread bad word of mouth, do you mean just like talking to people, or like as far as like getting on Yelp and like
Actually going out of your way to them.
Good point. So like, how many of you guys have ever written something on on a media site talking about a restaurant? What is that experience or a bad experience?
Like does Facebook?
Yeah, if it counts.
Yeah. I went to Sabrina's, had a really good brunch, probably changed my status. And upload something. Yeah.
Or like Dana, Sabrina, or something.
Okay.
Just say good things about it, like bad things too.
Reflect on all these experiences. Is it more often that you say something good, like if you would say something that's positive, or something that's negative? Would you update your status about an experience, or most likely positive?
I'd probably only update mine on positive experience.
Yeah.
I don't want to like complain to Facebook.
Yeah, and it's just like I just don't want to waste energy to talk about how bad of it I had.
Yeah.
I also think it depends how funny the experience was though. Like I mean I'm planning seminar and I went to King Art and there was this lady there that doesn't just wipe down the plate with the she actually when she makes a sandwich for some reason she wipes down the sandwich. Like this really disgusts me. So like every time I see someone we're going to King's Court I was like please don't handle it because the lady's gonna move it down with that rag. It's disgusting. But it's like yeah I guess I would complain about it. Maybe I'm just a person though. Possibility.
How dependent are you on like reviews like Yelp and what's the other thing? That's one difficult.
Yelp, Zagat.
Yeah.
That's one, yeah.
Do you guys read those?
Do people still use Zagat?
I've used Zagat a little bit. Not a lot though.
Because they kind of like, well, they got bought by Google, but beyond.
For me, it's my word of mouth, and also I'll track restaurants down based upon restaurateur. Like look up the restaurateur and see what other stuff he's done.
Hi, Carl. Okay.
I'm sorry, I was.
I sat in horses, but they helped me for a
Doesn't
lot.
matter. Just take a seat there, please.
Do you guys ever just restaurants just based on like, it's hard to say, like reputation that oh it's expensive, fancy, and you just, that's all you got, but you go just because of that happen ever?
I've never been back then.
Yeah.
But I remember when I thought about going, it was
Yeah.
kind of just because like the ritzy place in the city.
Okay.
My friends are really good though.
I mean,
We were there, right? Did you get the dessert? That thing is just epic. They
Is
have
it
a
still
whole cart full of desserts.
Is it still open back then?
I think so.
It's been
There were like
closing
rumors
in.
that it was closing.
I think it's still.
I mean, I was just there a month ago. I'm pretty sure
Okay.
it's still up and running.
That was just a marketing ploy then. Closing.
Yeah. Wait, so what do you think about Restaurant Week? Do you suspect, like, are they making money when you go? Or it's like, why are they doing this? Do you ever think about this?
I'm pretty sure they have to make some profit.
I'm sure they make money. I think it's more of exposure though. They
Yeah,
want to
I think it's
draw
more
new
of
audiences.
I mean, a lot of food are like probably 100% extra. Yeah, more expensive, like all the ingredients combined. And if you don't use like really exotic, like a truffle, mushroom, foie gras, or something like that, right? Like the chicken, and you can get a pound for $4 or something. Charge you like 25 or more.
I bet so. They still make a lot of money off of alcohol, obviously not included. But
Yeah, and I think I remember too that all around the country they're doing more and more restaurant weeks in here. Like this used to be maybe just like an annual restaurant week. Now in Philly there's 2, and I think New York there's 4. Like,
right.
So they definitely is profitable.
I think as they do more though, like less exciting. If you have like so many times that you're not like, oh man, I need to take advantage now.
But even now, have like a senior, it's already kind of moving on too.
Yeah, so like you guys are talking about not like it was like more exciting during the year. So do you think you guys will, for people who have gone their last 3, like, most of you guys are all seniors, do you guys feel differently like back in the days, or do you guys went more often back in the days than now?
Like for me, like I would like want to go, but in the like senior year that I've gone this year is because like for a student group or like a Greek club or something, and then the 10 of us on the board, and then we'll make that like a social event, a good strong week thing. But I don't think I would have volunteered to be like I really want to go to restaurant for restaurant. So that's just me personally.
Has anybody having to talk about being a student?
I should try once.
Yeah.
Yeah. That is why I was not.
That's the reason.
Yeah. I was like, that is why I was like, kind of smooth
I was like, oh, okay. And then talk class, I was like, oh, restaurant this year, and then I forgot. So.
And so we've talked a lot about dinner. What about lunches? Because do you guys all realize that Russia has lunch too?
Yeah, I love lunch actually.
Okay. And yeah, so most guys who have visited a restaurant during restaurant weeks went to dinners, or okay, so you're the only person.
I went lunch.
Okay, and is there a different expectation or like
I think,
an
I
experience?
think it's a lot more relaxed. You don't need to be as crowded as the dinner crowd. It's still during the week, so a lot of people work still. So, I mean, I don't know. I just felt it. Also, Garza's Trading Company went for lunch, and it has more of a ambiance anyway. But it's a lot more chill. And dinner, the restaurant week.
Do you guys think the $28 lunch and $35 for dinner is like a price range that you guys are thinking? That's a good price. Like
I think $20 for lunch is still a lot.
Yeah, if you're gonna throw down money to go to like a fancy, I'd rather do it a bit bigger and just go at night, as opposed to like drop in for like an hour lunch or something.
So $35 for dinner is something that everyone's like happy about, or would it? If it's $30, are you guys happier, or is it $40 for you guys?
Yeah.
Okay, so.
Well, that gets a little nervous because if you've got the family out entrees for $20 for dinner, then like, how are they cutting this cost? You know what I mean? So.
Yeah.
So 35 is like. Is there anyone who feels strongly about 35 or like somewhere like cheaper, more expensive?
I think I would pay $35 for dinner ever again.
Yeah, I think some of the ones on the list are worth it, but a lot of them aren't.
Like I remember Marathon was on there one year.
Yeah.
I paid $35 at Marathon.
Okay. So it really is like it really depends on the. Okay. So let's say if restaurant next year is going to be $40, how does it change perception to that?
People like go to restaurant, go to restaurant, you
Yeah,
know,
that's
$5 more.
Okay.
Or like I would only go to the ones like I'll go or somewhere when you usually would be like 40 or 50.
Okay.
That's actually a good point because I think like commit to a prefix menu. You want to go somewhere where you're getting like your money's worth.
Yeah.
If it's a
Some
place that I
savings.
would spend $30 at
Yeah.
anyway, I want to have my own options. I want to choose myself.
Yeah.
So.
Wait, can I say something? Lunch.
Sure.
I went once lunch and I never want to go back to a restaurant for lunch again.
And
Like,
why?
I don't- It's just because like I actually don't even remember when because I like blocked it out of my memory. But
Oh wow, that's pretty
yeah,
good.
it was like a really terrible experience. But it was just because it was less crowded, but it treated the same way as it would be like the most like rush time, and so there was really only one other party there. It took them like more than 2 hours to like enter our table, and then the food took another hour and a half, and then I just didn't understand because the party was only 3 people. So I was like, so there's 3 people over there, and then there's 16 of us. So I don't.
Which one was bad? Now I want to know.
No, I actually blocked it. I actually don't remember.
Oh my gosh.
I don't remember that well.
You guys complain about it?
Yeah, I complained a lot.
Did you yell
but
about it?
I didn't. I
Did you
mean,
Facebook about it?
but that's the thing. Even if it was bad, I wouldn't go out of my way. But it was because I was with very close friends, and so all of us were able to be like, it's okay, you know. I guess, yeah.
Or just talk.
Yeah, and then we just like left.
They apologize?
Yeah,
I mean, they paused a lot, but I don't know.
You're really patient. If I help you that long, I maybe like with family, and maybe even walking away would be like.
Okay. So, talking about the atmosphere, is like we touched upon this like earlier on. Does it matter a lot if you guys are like proud, like you know, in very intimate, like very close
Shoulder to
together?
shoulder?
Yeah, kind of. Does it really matter?
Matters in what? Like whether or not we decide to go there, or just what we think.
Yeah. What is? Does
I'm
it
fine
your
with-
experience a lot?
I'm fine with being like cozy with people I'm with. I don't when tables are smushed together. Like I don't want to be like elbow
With
to elbow with
strangers.
who I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, like examples of with Budokan, that big counter.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's fine. Like I don't mind if there's like a seat between me and the next lady, but it's kind of like awkward if you're sitting right next to the party.
Or at like Lolita, where you can hear like the person next to you,
Exactly.
like Tom.
Does it make you not want?
Oh,
That's
wow. Bring me new water.
You can pour her wine out.
Yeah.
Even that close, that would prevent me from going back for sure. Like.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird.
Okay.
So kind of go off of that, because it's just out of curiosity. I would say that sometimes factors outside the restaurant's control, such as what our customers are doing, can impact, I guess, sort of your thoughts of a restaurant.
Yeah, it affects the ambiance. I think that's especially in like some BYOs because you can get like really out of control, which is fine if that's what you're looking for. But if that's not what you're expecting, then you're gonna get a bit of a shock.
But if you know that like the BYO you're going to is like largely there's a lot of older adults there, you're gonna bring a party of like college students around you.
This is true.
I mean, or if you know that
Unless you
ahead
just
of
wanna mess
time,
with
you
people.
probably have it.
Yeah, I always feel like when I go to La Viola or something and I see a families there, like I was just
I
like,
feel
feel
really
really
bad.
bad.
I'm like, I don't want to be here right now.
They should know better. Though.
Yeah, like I just bad. I'm like, they must be having a terrible time. Like I wouldn't want to be in their shoes.
I guess it's the type of restaurants thing to determine like what kind of your expectation.
Any more questions yet?
I'm good.
Okay, so just the last question. What would you just name one of the utmost factor just go around or when you consider about a restaurant?
Like going back or just
going?
I think the people on it.
People. So your own factor. Is there
What do you mean?
like the restaurant factor, something that the restaurant can control? Price, ambiance, or
I mean that all the like the people I'm going with.
okay. So okay. And
Price and portion.
portion. So value.
Yeah. I mean, even if it tastes really good, if it's like not gonna filling, so I'm gonna have to eat something after it, like, I don't know if I would go.
Okay.
Probably quality.
Quality of food.
Definitely quality of food for me too, and uniqueness of its memo of the food.
I would say what discount I think. I mean, or even like so, I've done a lot of doing social deals for restaurants. I think it's the same thing. Like, I'm gonna spend more on this living social deal than I would normally going to this restaurant. The fact that I'm like, oh, I'm paying 10 I get 20, or I'm paying 20 and I get 40. Like that's made me go more than if I saw a restaurant week thing. So I guess the way you present something, it's one you're like, it's giving me cash and I have a deadline to buy, and the other one is like me have to make it sure I want to go. So I guess the way they present that savings would be the same savings both ways.
So you feel like engaged already to begin with?
The way they present value is different.
Okay.
It's, I guess you're quantifying to value the save. They're like, again, like what Joanne was saying, like she's gonna spend $35 normally, but somehow they have to position it in a way to make you believe that you're getting a good deal on what you're paying more than you normally would for.
Okay.
I would say quality food and also the chef's creativity. Like I want to go to a place where it's going to be unique, like as you were saying.
Yeah. Okay.
For the first time, I think the unique quality of food, but like to go back is more like a value to me. If I went to my house, definitely quality, but if I go back, it means that I won't get really full about it, so I get out of those definitely important.
Okay.
Like return trip, I'm like, I had I didn't really want it.
Okay.
If you're talking about returning to a restaurant.
Okay. Alright. Is there anything else I want to talk about?
Actually, do you guys have like a go-to restaurant? Like, are you loyal to one downtown restaurant? Like, you have nothing, you have something in town and...
Oh yeah.
I was on Campus Distrito downtown, probably.
Okay. Anybody else?
Probably Dick's.
I have one restaurant I have to go there if I like start with my roommate. It's a noodle place in the town.
Mm-hmm.
Is it Ian John?
Yeah. We
I
go
don't
every
know.
year since freshman final. It's like, I must go.
Every year for my birthday we go to Claire.
Oh.
But girls' day. Yeah. It's like good, but it's more of the ambiance thing.
Anyone else? I would take a lot of people to Sabrina's.
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
I need to try the diner because I used to bring it until because I don't know like what. Yeah, I'm actually curious. What is so? It tastes really good, but like
What did you eat one time?
I had like stuff looking bread with like
Breakfast?
yeah.
That's
Especially, but I eat it. It tastes really good, but then I was like, I'm not gonna wait for hour like.
But they don't have that anywhere else. Like
This is French
that
toast.
way.
It's
Stuffed with like cream cheese and other fruits.
Stuff
and
what?
French toast.
You know, I'm
Orange toast
gonna
and
get
challah bread.
Yeah.
like
Oh,
roll
and then
roll
it's
French
stuffed
toast and then I do that.
yeah.
I would go to Nike. Actually. Can I participate?
No.
You can.
What?
Nigeria?
Yeah, it's the Hyatt, right?
The Hyatt one. Okay.
I hate it.
I think that's good.
Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you very much.
Right.
Have a good weekend.
Have a great
Yeah.
week. How about things?
Yeah, help yourself.